What's going on YouTube? Check out a brand new YouTube video for you guys. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I have an almost 700 credit score at the age of 18. My birthday is on August 8th, so today's the 9th. So 3 months now that I've been 18. How did I get an almost 700 credit score with just being 18 for 3 months? So let's get right into it. So this is my credit score on Credit Karma, a 692 and a 686. Now that's really good for only being 18 for a couple of months, and even on Credit Karma, it tells you the average credit score for people your age. People my age, it's around 600 to 609. Now how did I build that much credit in so little bit of time? So what you want to do is go to your parents if you're under 18 and ask them to put you on an authorized credit card. So what that does is essentially you're on their credit card, and so whatever happens on that card will happen to your credit score. Even though you can't really check it because you're not 18, your credit score will still be fluctuating and your credit score will still be working. So the age that you can become an authorized user really just depends on the bank that your parents have. So in my case, we went with School's First Federal Credit Union. So we went to the bank and we asked them if we can add me as an authorized user. Now mind you, I was only 17. I think you can do it at about 15, but it really just depends on your parents' credit score and on the bank that you're trying to get the credit card with. So in my case, I went when I was 17. I went with my mom and we went to School's First Federal Credit Union. We asked them if I can be added as an authorized user and they said yes. Okay, so now what happens? So you give them all your information, your parents do all the information and all that stuff. Now you get the credit card, so what do you do now? In my case, it was a $2,000 credit limit that was on the card. Now, keep in mind, you want to use 30% or less of your credit limit at all times. Even better if you use 20 or less percent of your credit at all times. So with the 2,000 credit score, we have to keep at least 600 or less of a balance on that card. Every month, we would just use it for gas. Now, gas would add up to about $100 to $200 a month. So we did that on the authorized card until I turned 18. Now, that credit card is still open. It is still in use today. I still have the card in my wallet, and I still use it once in a while. You want to remember to use your card once in a while. You do not want to just completely stop using it because it will close your card and then your credit score will go down a little bit. Now it won't make a huge impact, but your score will go down. So make sure to just use your card here and there once in a while and pay off the payments. Now, once I turn 18, what do you do? Once I turned 18, I went ahead and signed up for Credit Karma, and then I was looking and researching which credit cards I want to get for myself. So for myself, I went with the Capital One Platinum Secured Credit Card. Now I was debating between the Discover and the Capital One, and the reason why I went with the Capital One is because I have some family members in my family that had the Capital One and they had good experiences with it, and also Discover is not accepted everywhere. So keep that in mind when you are looking into which card to get. And I was doing a lot of research on which card should be a good first credit card, and Capital One had really good reviews. So I just went ahead and signed up for it and got approved for it. So with a secured credit card, what that means is that you're essentially giving a deposit as your credit limit. So for example, in my case, my credit limit is $1,000. Now why is it $1,000? It basically, I'm just starting at 18 years old. How are they trusting me with $1,000? So with the secured credit card, that's the thing. You're using your money as basically collateral for Capital One. Just in case you don't pay your bill, they still have something to grab onto to protect themselves. Now remember, you're trying to build a credit score, which is essentially building trust with banks and with companies and things like that they're trying to get loans with and borrow money from. So what I did is I deposited $849, which was the max that I could deposit, and that gave me a $1,000 credit line. So with that $1,000 credit line, and I think the minimum is I think $50, and it goes to $200 and then up to $1,000. But you can deposit a little less or a little more depending on what you want to do and what you're comfortable putting into your card. Now remember, the 30% rule on your credit card. Do not use over 30% each month, each billing period, because you will hurt your credit score. If you use over 30% and if you're using excessive amounts of your credit will go down. Why? Because it's showing that you're irresponsible with a lot of money. So they're lending you money and then you're just using all of it. And at the end of the day, even worse if you can't even pay it back, because that will hurt your credit score even more. So remember, 30% and only spend what you're comfortable paying the next month. So you have your card, okay, now what do you do? So in my case, I use it just for gas. Again, like the other card from School's First. And on Credit Karma, you can sign up when you're 18, but it won't really show anything until the first about month or two. It will really show your credit score and anything like that. So don't be afraid if you don't see it right away when you sign up. It might just say 0 or NA or anything like that. Don't be afraid, just keep working your credit. Make sure to be responsible. Do not miss any payment. Once you miss one payment, it's literally all over because you're going to be shown as irresponsible to banks, to credit cards, and you just don't want that. So each month, so say this month is November. So in November, I'm going to spend $300 or less. In my case, I like to keep it under 20%. So I spend about the most $180 a month on my credit card. So after I spend $180 on my credit card, I have a $180 balance on my card that I have to pay the next billing period. Now you can pay it right away when you get the bill on your actual Capital One app. but it's better if you just hold on to that until you get the actual bill to pay it. So mine, I think, comes in the 21st, the actual bill of my balance. So once I get that bill on the balance, I wait approximately like 5 days until it reflects on my Credit Karma and it shows up as that new bill on my Credit Karma. Then after that, if my payment is $180 or a $25 minimum payment, I'm going to pay the $180 full payment. Do not spend more on your credit card than you are able to pay back the next month in full. Now why? Well, it's because if I were to just put the $25 minimum on my credit card, what that would do is for the next month, I'll be paying interest on the balance. So instead of paying, say, $180, the next month I'll be paying, for example, like $190. So I'll be basically giving away $10 just because I didn't pay the whole thing in full. And remember, you do not have to pay interest to grow your credit. That is a really common misconception about credit, that you have to pay interest to grow it, but you really don't. And these are things that school does not teach you. School does not teach you these things. They may teach you, here and there, little simple things, but they do not actually get in depth with credit cards and how you should use them. Implement these steps into your life and you guys will see that your credit score will be at 700 or higher in literally no time. Be responsible, pay off your credit cards, like I said, in full the next month, so you don't have to pay any interest for the next following month. Keep it under 30%, even better, under 20% on your credit cards, and you guys will be set. Now, when will you get the money for your deposit back? Now, that really all depends on how responsible you've been with your Capital One card. With Capital One, in my case, I've had them for about 2 months now, so my credit age is about 2 months. Now, that's kind of like in the medium range of how much they really trust me, so I can expect to see my $800 check back in a couple months from here. So you will get that deposit back, so just make sure that you're responsible and you keep paying those payments. If you don't pay it, again, they're gonna take that money and they're just gonna pay that payment with the $800 that you gave them or whatever you gave them as a deposit. Now, after that, after you made responsible payments for about 6 months, you've kept up with your credit, you've done everything good. After that, what do? What you want to do is you want to open a second credit card. Open a second credit card. Now, with that second credit card, it could be like the Chase card, it could be Discover card, whatever you'd like it to be. Just remember to pay off that card as you go. Now, you do not want to keep opening more and more credit cards. All that would do is just decrease your credit score because it shows that you're irresponsible. All you want to do is just keep on spending. Do not keep opening credit cards. Keep it to a minimum, but remember, after 6 months, open a second one and just continue that process all over again. And then after 6 months of that, open another credit card. And what that will do is that will expand your credit line. So your credit balance overall will be bigger. So for example, if I have 1,000 credit line on this one and 1,000 credit line on the next one that I will be getting in a few months here, so that will give me a $2,000 total credit limit. So if I were to spend $100 on one card, it won't show like I'm using as much of my credit line as I would be with just one $1,000 credit card, if that makes sense. So if you guys do have any questions or anything that you guys would like me to review, make sure to drop a comment down below. Like I said, these are just things that school does not teach you. And if you guys would like to purchase a car in the future, finance it, a house or anything like that, your credit score is really important. And it's really important to get it started at an earlier than later time. It's going to show a longer credit age and it's going to just boost up your credit score even more. Now, there are many ways that other people also say to grow your credit, but this is my way that's been working for me, and it has me at almost a 700 credit score at literally the age of 18. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is that if you are an authorized user on your parent's card, anything that happens to that card, if there's a missed payment, if there's a late payment or anything like that, that will be reflected onto your score. So keep that in mind when you are an authorized user on somebody's card. Anything that happens to that card, anything that they do to that card will be reflected on your credit score. So just keep that in mind on whose card you're going to be an authorized user on, and just be aware of what's going on. Make sure those payments are getting paid and no payment is getting paid late. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like down below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you guys have any questions, like I said, drop a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.